Yeah, Sunday the 12th. And yesterday I was working on the. Let's turn here. Yesterday I was working on that. There's a gate right there. I took that section of fence out and put a swing gate in there. And that's where my road's going to come in off the cul-de-sac. But anyway, I was out working on that, and wife came out to visit me, and she said, "What's that white building back there?" I said, "Well, that's the well house, honey. Have you never been back there?" She said, "No." I said, "Well, come on back here." So we came back here, and of course, you've seen pictures of. Seen a picture of it. I think a week ago when I took the video, or 2 weeks ago, and saw a picture of what this looked like yesterday morning. Well, we came back here, and where that ladder is, right around there, there's a big wet spot on the ground, and came back here and investigated, and right there is the PVC line coming out of the pressure tank. Where's my finger? Okay. Comes out of the pressure tank here, and it makes a 90-degree and goes down into the ground. And there's a valve right there, and I think that valve is corroded and it's leaking there at the valve. So I got into looking at this thing yesterday and how this little shed was constructed, and it was, let's just say it was built by an amateur. The ridge, there's a ridge board here that the rafters are attached to, and you see that ridge board is bearing on 2x4s that are laid the wrong way. That's the door opening right there, and it's bearing directly on the center of the door opening. Now, if you can see the bow in it, there's a saddleback right there, and then there's a saddleback here, and this right here too. Should have been a double top plate. It just was built like they didn't know what the hell they were doing. So, and it wasn't built on a floor. There's just four by four posts in each corner, and these 2x4s are just kind of hanging. They're screwed into a 2x4 that's connected from post to post, and these 2x4s are bearing on that 2x4 on the bottom down there. It's just not done right. So what should be done is there should be a pad the size of the building, and then there should be stick built on top of the pad, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take all this crap out of here. I'm going to lay it out and pour a pad, the way it should be done. And hopefully I won't have rodents living in here, and ants and spiders the size of poodles. I mean, I found a couple of brown recluses in here that were the size of silver dollars. It scared the heck out of me. All right, now I got to pull the sheathing off the roof. I got all the exterior sheathing off, as you can tell, and I got the shingles off the roof, and it shouldn't have been shingled. It should have been roll roof because it's like a 1 in 12 pitch. I pulled all the shingles off, and now I'm going to pull that roof sheathing off. I'm talking about. Okay. These are 4x4 posts. They're not treated and they're buried. These 2x4s are just laying there on the ground. They're screwed into that 2x4 there, and they're not bearing on anything but the fastener through that 2x4 into that 2x4. So, as a coincidentally, you get that going on, that big old sag. Now, rafters, you see how these end rafters line up? Yeah, that's the way they're supposed to do. Not like that. I'm just saying. Yeah. It's a ton of money wrapped up in these little plates. You know, it's pretty rickety. But it's been sitting here since 2000. There's a date stamp on the plywood. It says 2000, September 2000. So it's been here for 13 years. Well, and ooh, right into the sun. That was good. So when we come back, it'll be gone, all of it, maybe most of it. And the post might still be there, but we're gonna gut that thing, and salvage what we can. What we like. I got a mouse in my pocket. I'm going to salvage what I can, reuse it, and I'm going to rebuild this thing. There was a hole. If you saw that piece of plywood that I just moved over to the end, you saw that hole? Well, that was a hole that was cut out after the thing was built. Evidently, this well had to be serviced at some point. Probably had to redig it, or put a new wellhead in it. And they had to come in through the roof to get the wellhead in. So that's why the hole was there, and then they just put a piece of plywood over top of it and never put any shingles or anything on it. And the pitch of this roof was relatively a really low slope. It should have been rolled roofing instead of shingles. And on the north side, the shingles were glued down, so it came off in one big sheet anyway, or pieces of it, because prevailing winds, with these cheap shingles, the prevailing winds out of the west, and when we do get north wind, it's usually high wind, so it just peeled the shingles up. But we'll get this thing stripped down today and find out where it's leaking on the well, and work on getting that fixed up during the week. So when we come back, all that should be gone. Alright, so I got the 2x off this one side here. And I just wanted to show you what I was dealing with. Most of this is all screwed together, so it's going to come apart pretty readily. But check this out. So I had a 90-degree, can you see that? I had a 90-degree bracket. Alright, so there's this 90-degree bracket that was screwed in there. And then there was a toenail screw through the back here, right? And then one through the back over here. And then that goes down to that 2x4. And then there's two screws. You can see them right there at the end of my toe, perhaps. Two screws down there. Yeah, see them? Screwed into the 2x4 there. And that's what that bears on all. For all intents and purposes, on all four sides. Check this out. Where'd my screw gun go? There it is. Oh, and then there's a toenail there too. Nice, huh? Nice. This is why you should leave the building to professional builders like myself. That was not done right at all. I tell you what, if I'd have built a building like that for an employer, that would have been the one and only time I would have built a builder as a representative of a company, and I certainly wouldn't sign my name on it if it was a side job. So I just thought I'd add that 2 cents. I shall continue. It's starting to warm up finally. It's starting to warm up a little bit. I might have to take the sweatshirt off. Alright, see you in a bit. That's how many fasteners will hold that 2x4 onto that gable. "16 screws holding that on." "17. That's why you don't bury untreated lumber. Well, there it is. Told you it'd be gone. 2 of those posts. This one here in this corner, and then the one over in the opposite corner over there, actually over right there, or in that corner. Doing, doing, doing. They were cemented in. They were in there pretty good. The other 2 were just kind of buried in dirt and they're rotten. They just fell over. So, yeah. So if anything else, this should be an instructional video for what not to do when you build a shed in your backyard. If this had been in Michigan, this shed would have disappeared years ago. This has been here for 14 years, 13, 14 years, and it fared pretty well considering that it was just, you know, thrown out here in the dirt. But, you know, we don't get very much rain here in the desert. Damn. Sometimes my mouth can't keep up with my brain, which isn't saying much. Oh, look at that. What the hell? You see him? You see him? See him yet? How about now? There he is. Where'd he go? Okay, well, there it is. I got a hell of a mess to clean up here. I did find, you know, there's a couple other issues here besides that leaking valve. I think you can see it a little bit better now. You see the agua? Yeah, it's supposed to be in the pipe, not outside the pipe. You can see there's a spigot, a hose bib right there, and then there's a shut-off valve. I turned that yesterday, and it felt like the shaft inside there, it felt like it broke. So I didn't turn it any further, just left it alone. But I think that valve is so corroded that the seals have failed in it. And that's just PVC coming out of there. I looked at it yesterday. That's just PVC. So it should be an easy enough fix. I say that now, but I'm certainly not going to do it tonight at 6 o'clock like I did the shut-off valve for the main shut-off valve at the house. That sucked. I don't ever want to do that again. And the other thing I want to do, another thing that should have been done but wasn't, the doorway was right here, right in front of the wellhead here. But you see, this is a pressure relief valve. And you notice it's threaded. If you can see that, I can't see it. You notice that that's threaded in there. There should have been a piece of PVC, you know, threaded into that and plumbed outside the building. So if it ever, you know, blew, it wouldn't flood the inside of the building. And then this is a little air leak here, and this little Schrader valve leaks at high pressure. So we'll address those issues when I go to fix them all. I'll fix them all. But in the meantime, my battery's going dead, and I'm getting hungry, so I'm going to go in the house. So bye for now.